Hello guys and happy Halloween. So since it's Halloween, I was thinking about making a movie review on my all-time favorite scary movie, or my all-time favorite horror movie. Now, I do like Jaws more than this movie, but I'm not really counting that as a horror movie, so this was my second choice, and that movie is Psycho. Psycho is directed by Alfred Hitchcock, one of the best directors of all time. He's also known as the master of suspense. It actually came out in the year 1960 when there were a lot of rules for movies at the time. Like you couldn't show a toilet or a shower in a movie. You couldn't even give any hints of nudity or violence. This movie broke all the rules and changed cinema forever. This is a very groundbreaking film, and no one really gives it much credit for being that groundbreaking. This movie stars Janet Leigh and Anthony Perkins, and let me give you a quick summary of the movie. Marion Crane, played by Janet Leigh, was trusted with $40,000 to give to the bank. As she steals it and gets out of town fast, she takes a wrong turn. This led to probably the biggest mistake of her life, running into Bates Motel. Now, from here, it's all going to be spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie Psycho, I suggest watching it and coming back to this video later. Anyway, let me tell you about what I liked about the movie. One of the biggest things I adore about this movie is probably the character growth. They had some of the perfect character growth in this movie. My favorite scene in this movie is the conversation between Marion and Norman. When she first comes to the motel, they get to know each other better, and as Marion gets to learn more about Norman, she starts to regret her decision. Now, Norman is a nice boy, really good at speaking to other people.
Do you go out with friends?
Well, a boy's best friend is his mother. You've never had an empty moment in your entire life, have you?
Only my share.
Where are you going? I didn't mean to pry.
I'm looking for a private island.
What are you running away from?
Why do you ask that?
Probably the biggest thing in this movie is how they portray Norman as nice, an innocent man who's just being ordered by a sick mother. You feel bad for him, and you feel for his loss, but the mystery is getting more unveiled as you get farther in the movie. Now, if you have seen this movie, you definitely know what drives the whole movie, and that's Norman Bates' mother, Mrs. Bates. And also leads to the plot twist, the mother wasn't really alive thing. Hitchcock did a really good job at making this movie feel as real as possible, and never actually showing the mother's face in the entire movie. It was really clever, and it led to a very surprising plot twist. Now, I guess it's not surprising because of all the movies that come out today, but at the time, people were pretty amazed, but also very terrified. Now, why is this movie so scary? They barely show anything, and that is the point why it's so scary. Since they give you hints of what it looks like, but they never actually show pretty much anything, it scares your mind. Your mind can be as scary as it wants to be. It can show as many scary images as it wants to. This movie isn't visually scary. It's mind-nerving type scary. One of the biggest things that scares me pretty much is that it could actually happen in real life. Some people wouldn't take showers for months and months because they saw this movie. Another thing I love about this movie is its use of music and cinematography. The music in this movie is unnerving, it creeps you out. Most of the runtime of Psycho is dedicated to Marion Crane just driving in her car, leaving town with the most frightened look on her face. Now, it just goes into her mind and it shows what everyone else must be thinking, since she stole the money, and you see the sweat dropping down her face. This shows the fear in her eyes, and the music really carries that. Without music, it would bore you out of your mind. The cinematography in Psycho is also great, the shower scene in particular, because it's just filmed in a wide variety of angles that don't actually show anything. It's amazing how close they got, and it leaves you at the edge of your seat like, they're not really showing anything. And they get really close to you. The shower scene is probably the most influential movie scene of all time. I love how this movie was just put together / edited. Psycho has this different style of filmmaking that no one was really used to at the time. People say that the end scene where the psychologist explains everything was unnecessary, but it actually really helps the audience to truly understand what the plot twist meant at the end. This movie really surprised me and got me hooked in within the opening credits. I've heard about it in the past, but I never really wanted to see it, but I'm glad I did. I don't think we'll ever get a movie like this again, except for the stupid remake that they made in the 90s with Vince Vaughn. Don't watch it. I haven't seen it, but I hear it's pretty dumb. It has some of the best acting, character development, and story I think I've ever seen in film. All in all, I think it's the best horror movie of all time. Thanks for watching, guys. I think this movie's really awesome. I think it really deserves credit since it's Halloween. It's not scary. It's scary not for the imagery, but for the dialogue and for the story. Again, if you haven't seen Psycho, I seriously recommend it. It's a truly amazing movie. This is Ethan Butler, and I'm out.